If you want to heal your life, if you want to transform your reality and live a life that is more authentic to who you are, where you feel like you really are experiencing the dreams that you want to experience, in order to do that, you have to break patterns. You have to disturb whatever patterns you've been running for years, decades, since childhood. Many times our patterns are created from before existence, before your soul came into this human experience. But also, patterns are developed through our childhood experiences, right? And those programs are so deep because they come from, they're created at a time where we have no speech, where we're just working off energy, right? Our purest form. And when we get older, without knowing it, we're still running on those programs. If we never look at them, if we never dig to see what it is that's making you react to situations and have the relationships you have, pick the careers that you have, not reach for dreams that you want. If we never look at why we're doing these things, then we don't change. So one of the most important things, one of the most transformational things that I have done in my life is to dig deeper, is to search for what patterns I created. And what I realized as a healer, as an acupuncturist, working with people, is that the number one program that we all developed very early on is how we feel, how we experience love. And that's because from a very, very early age, before speech, we crave it. It's almost like biological, right? That we need love, we need attention, we need support, we need to be fed, we need to be nourished. And for many of us are lucky we come in with two parents. Some of us come in with one, some of us with none. Some have functioning parents who know how to love, and some don't. And it's not only the type of love you were given that programs you, it's also what you did with that information. So many times as children, we're looking for love, and we either experience from those that we're searching it out from, which for most of us it's our parents, right? They're the beings that we're around the most. And we're searching for love from them, and we try to get it in all these different ways, whether it's crying or being the best at something. And what do our parents do with that? Depends on how evolved they are, how much they know about love themselves. So they take that, and we experience either a rejection, an abandonment, an abuse, shame. All of those are programs that we get from those first times of trying to understand love. Or we can have real love. We can learn what real love is from our parents because maybe they know how to love. So one of the ways, once you know, it's so important to know what program you got. And there's many of these, right? It's not just love that becomes a program, but our self-confidence gets programmed. Our bravery, right? Like what we do in the face of fear gets programmed. All of that gets programmed early on in childhood. And if another situation doesn't come in to change programs, if they're wrong, if they're off, if they don't serve us, if another situation doesn't come in to change it, we'll live with those programs for the rest of our lives. Never facing fear, never getting true love because we were rejected or abandoned. So it's highly important to know what programs are running in ourselves, because we do carry this information in ourselves till adulthood. So one of the most important programs is our definition of love. And one of the ways to uncover what information we gathered from our experiences of love and then once we have that information, once we know if we feel rejected or abandoned or abused, we can then begin to reprogram ourselves, to let go of that old pattern and reprogram a new understanding of it so that we can live the lives we really want, more conscious lives. So the ways that you can do this is by asking yourself these questions. See how much your cells remember. See how much comes up. Sometimes we put those memories away, and just asking and meditating on these questions brings the memory back. You can ask yourself a set of questions, and I'll put those questions in the link below, in the description box below. But you can ask yourself, who did I want to love me? Who was I trying to impress? And who was I trying to get love from at an early age? And you wait for that answer, and it'll come. Whether it's your mother, your father, there was somebody that you were trying to get love from. And then ask yourself, what did they do with that request? Did they handle it in a supportive way? Did they show you what that meant? Or did they reject you? Did they make you feel shame? Did they abuse you? And then ask yourself, what did I then do with that information? And memories will come up. Like, did you learn that love was shameful? So then fast forward 5 years, then another 5 years, and another 5 years in your memory, and how did you translate that into love now, right? How did you use that program later on? Did you feel too much shame? Did you feel too much shame, let's say, with that first boyfriend? Or even to go that far as to get a boyfriend? Did you not feel enough because you were rejected? Did you pick abusive boyfriends because you learned that in order to be loved, you needed to allow abuse? And then decide, once you answer these questions for yourself, decide if that program serves you now. Is that something that you want to keep living with, keep experiencing, or not? And the good thing is that if your answer is no, I don't want that anymore, that does not serve me, it will not create the life that I want. The good thing is that the universe has been and will continue to send you experiences to heal that. So all those times that you ran that program into the ground and kept getting rejected, abused, shamed, were moments for healing. And if you haven't healed that, I'm sure that right now you're running one of those experiences again. That gives you the opportunity to see the situation in a different light and change the program. So if you're in an abusive relationship because your program taught you that about love, figure out that, decide that you don't deserve that. Decide that that child didn't deserve that. Decide that your child self didn't deserve that. And rewrite that program for yourself. Tell yourself, write it down. What is love? Is love abusive? Is love rejection? And then answer it. And then only accept what true love is for yourself. Doing this can really, really change your reality, change your experience, change what comes in. If you feel like you've been stuck running the same experience over and over again, by doing this, you'll see that it starts to change. And sometimes just awareness that you're doing it is what brings a new experience in. Because when you pass the test, when you are no longer giving out that energy of fear, rejection, abandonment, then a new experience will come in. So remember to decide, commit, and take action towards your healing and transformation. Namaste.